That's right, ladies. Thankfully, good news coming out of the Boston Marathon this year. Golf and track both coming up later in the program. But we begin tonight with a look at what happened in Boston earlier today. Inside the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio, I'm Melissa Bergamini. Meb Keflezighi became the first American male athlete to win the Boston Marathon in 3 decades. The 38-year-old who was born in Eritrea clocked in at 2 hours, 8 minutes, and 37 seconds. The last time an American runner won the marathon was back in 1985 when Lisa Larsen-Weidenbach took the women's title. Bringing things a little closer to home, the official Drake Relay starter list was released today, and Iowa will be sending a whopping 17 different events, including 6 relays to Des Moines. 6 runners will compete in individual events and 10 more in field. Events start this Wednesday and will run through Saturday. The first round of the NBA playoffs are off to an exciting start. For the Western Conference, the San Antonio Spurs, Portland Blazers, Golden State Warriors, and Oklahoma City Thunder all taking their series openers. And for the East, Atlanta Hawks, Washington Wizards, Brooklyn Nets, and the Miami Heat winning their respective games. Our own Daily Iowan reporters Kevin Glick and Matt Gable sat down to hash out who they think will win this championship series come June.
Thanks, Alyssa. The NBA playoffs are getting underway, and Matt Cable here is with me to debate who is going to win the NBA Finals. Matt, I know you're a big Heat fan. Why don't you make your case?
Well, I mean, anytime that you have LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, and Chris Bosh, Kevin, you can't really go wrong. You have a really good chance. But the biggest challenge that the Heat have is finding the real support players, and that's going to be the X factor for them. So you have players coming off the bench like Ray Allen. You brought in Greg Oden, who's going to be a presence against the big man of the Eastern Conference, and then potentially into the NBA Finals as well. Yeah, and then yesterday, Eric Spoelstra also threw in James Jones, who played in 20 games throughout the regular season, and he came in yesterday, had 12 points. So you throw in someone like that who can be a big replacement for Mike Miller, who the team amnestied over the summer, and I think that you got a good chance for the Heat.
Yeah, I'm going to go a different route. I'm going to take the field just because of how many different ways that the Heat could stumble. But I think where they'll lose is in the Western Conference. You have the Spurs and the Thunder, both teams that they played in the finals, and the Spurs really probably should have won last year in Game 6, and they didn't close it out. They could have, but they shouldn't. But they're playing well. Tony Parker, Manu Ginobili, Tim Duncan, that core three, they've been through a lot of finals together. They're playing well. They're rested. Tim Duncan has probably not played as much this year, but he's ready to go. And then there's the Thunder, who they have Westbrook back, and he's firing on all cylinders. He had 23 and 10, but that 10 was 10 rebounds, which is pretty crazy for a point guard. And then, of course, you have Kevin Durant, who scored 33, and they just really made quick work of Memphis last night. I think that either the Spurs or the Thunder, whichever one will get in the Western Conference, that's who I think will win. For more on this debate and who's going to win the NBA championship, check out DailyIowan.com or Tuesday's edition of the Daily Iowan. But for now, Alyssa, back to you.
Thanks for that, guys. And good news on the course for the men's golf team. They won their 2nd consecutive tournament after taking the Boilermaker Invitational on Sunday. The team carded a 54-hole team score of 865, the 2nd best team score over the 3-day tournament. Senior Stephen Ime defending his 2013 title at the outing, posting a career best 8 under par, 64 in his final round. He birdied 7 of his first 8 holes, helping him earn his 2nd best individual 18-hole score in program history. Well, that'll do it for me in the Daily Iowan TV Sports Studio. Mary and Hannah, back to the desk.